Dozens of people are searching for a missing hiker in the gorge.
21-year-old Riley Zickel set out on an overnight hike by himself.
Colorado County Sheriff's Office is searching for a missing hiker on the Olympic Peninsula.
John and Trevor Higgins, the father and son, were last seen Friday. They disappeared while hunting near Bear Camp Road above Agnes.
21-year-old Riley Zickel, the senior at Lewis and Clark College, disappeared.
An emotional plea from friends of a woman who is missing right now in the Skamania County wilderness. She's 19 years old, Maureen Kelly.
Searchers are looking for a 76-year-old farmer who did not come back from mushroom hunting near Grangeville.
Hello, and welcome to the Pacific Northwest Missing Persons Project. I'm your host, Tanner Hoskins, Executive Director at the Pacific Northwest Missing Persons Project. I want to start off today's podcast by letting you all know that the Pacific Northwest Missing Persons Project, or PNWMPP, is officially recognized as a non-profit organization in the state of Oregon. We are dedicated to the search for and recovery of missing persons whose cases have gone cold in rural and remote locations of Oregon, Idaho, Washington, and Montana. Our mission is to raise public awareness of these cases and to provide resources, support, and expertise to assist families and law enforcement in bringing home missing loved ones. People have asked multiple times, why do we exist? It is because search and rescue organizations, as well as law enforcement agencies, often lack the funding and personnel required to continue searching for missing or lost individuals after the initial life-saving efforts end. These organizations must prioritize their resources and funding for immediate life-saving missions, and this often leaves them unable to extend searches beyond their initial efforts. This is where PNWMPP steps in. We provide the support and resources necessary to continue these critical searches in an attempt to bring closure to friends and family who are left to grieve while not knowing where their loved one is. If you choose to donate to our cause, your donation directly supports our team in each step of the investigation of every case we take on. Your contributions will go towards Freedom of Information Act requests, travel to and from meetings with affected families, as well as meetings with county, state, or federal agencies in charge of each missing persons case. Every dollar also goes towards our mission in the field. Our team operates all year long. You can also support our mission by sharing our website, social media, and podcast with your friends and family. Okay, let's get into today's story. Today's story is going to focus on the Mill A, Washington area. If you're unfamiliar with where Mill A is located, it is just east of Carson, Washington, and just south of Willard, Washington, on the outskirts of the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. This is where Gail Wietrick, and I might be mispronouncing that, but the spelling is Gail, last name Wietrick, Wietrick. Gail Wietrick, 60 of Trout Lake, Washington, was picking mushrooms just northwest of Mill A off of Little Rock Creek Road on the afternoon of December 1st of 2012. For some reason, Gail became separated from the rest of her party at about 4:30 p.m. The rest of the individuals that were out mushroom picking with Gail searched for her throughout the evening and into the next day before finally contacting law enforcement at 3 p.m. on December 2nd. The Skamania County Search and Rescue Team immediately deployed to the area and began a thorough search of the dense forest. Ultimately, after a 5-day search effort, no clues as to Gail's whereabouts were discovered. This area is extremely treacherous, with brush and downed trees everywhere. The elevation that Gail disappeared at is about 2,450 foot elevation, which, if you're familiar with most of the cases that I have covered on this podcast, happens to be a hot spot elevation where a lot of people end up going missing at. According to the undersheriff at the time, Undersheriff Dave Cox, the search and rescue team did find something. It was the remnants of a small aircraft that crashed sometime in the 1970s. According to the Skamania County Sheriff's Office, there's little information about the crash because their office's archives do not go back that far. Unfortunately, you will also not find anything about Gail on NamUs or the Charlie Project, as Gail has officially been declared deceased. That kind of change in someone's status is heartbreaking. If you know anything about Gail Wietrick's disappearance, please contact the Skamania County Sheriff's Office at 509-427-9490. I know this was a shorter podcast than usual. We have a few things in the works that outside of the nonprofit paperwork I cannot get into at this time, but just know we have a lot of big things happening here that we are very excited about. So until next week, if you plan to recreate in the Great Pacific Northwest, whether you're in Oregon, Washington, Idaho, or Montana, please become familiar with the individuals that are missing in the area you plan to recreate and stay alert and vigilant. You never know when you might find something that brings answer or closure to a grieving family.